OnlyFans is not feminist and it's not empowering at all.
Women supporting women is the biggest lie and myth in modern feminism.
The feminist movement that I grew up in basically says you do not need a man. You can do anything that you want to in life without a man.
A lot of women have started to wake up and they are realizing
the scam has been going for way too long. Now we have modern women screaming for a man.
Western feminism is a scam.
Feminism has definitely ruined all of that where it comes to men being men. Men step up.
When I say I don't support modern-day feminism, this is what I mean. When the feminist movement first began,
So let me get this straight.
The reality is men have changed. It is a bit too late to be asking for help. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Well, then, okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't equate for, I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen, go apply to be on the oil rigs, go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, well, I don't think that all the girls that are being 20 right now and absolute whores in the club in 10 years are going to be 30, trying to settle down and realize that all the good guys are taken. They're going to complain that they were ran through their whole life, but while they were partying for the past 10 years, all the good girls got cuffed by the good guys. Now, when they look at all the men that are options, they're going to be competing with the now 20-year-old good girls and be stuck. Why? Because all the good guys are gone. You missed your chance being a fucking whore, bitch.
That is absolutely correct. And when these women get to 30 or 40 years old, they lie to themselves. They lie to themselves saying they're single by choice, when in reality, they've just exhausted all of their options and potential good men. These women might claim independence, but it's often a mask to hide their disappointment and regret. They might say they're focusing on their careers or living their best life, but deep down, there's an awareness that they've missed out on building a meaningful relationship with a good man. It's not about choosing to be single. It's about coming to terms with the fact that the choices they made in their earlier years have left them without the relationship they truly desire. They just love to cling to this so-called being single by choice term. It's cope.
Girls want to be feminists, but at the same time they say things like, if he wanted to, he will. If he doesn't pay for the first date, run. If he doesn't put a ring on it within a year, then run. Why don't you put a ring on it? Why don't you propose and take him out on a date? I guess if you wanted to, you would.
Any woman who's claiming to be a feminist, preaching equality, but still expects a man to go above and beyond for her in terms of traditional values and treatment is just insane. That's not equality. It's selective convenience. These types of women want the benefits of modern feminism, but still demand that men fulfill the traditional roles of protector, provider, and pursuer when it suits them. They expect men to foot the bill, take charge, and make all the sacrifices, yet they refuse to offer the same in return. It's a double standard disguised as empowerment. There's no benefits in that for a man.
I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to be associated with you. And I need to say that very publicly so that this chapter can just be closed.
Oh, are you a feminist?
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
Good. Me
Absolutely.
too, sometimes.
Absolutely. All the time for me.
Oh, no, I won't pay half for dinner.
You won't pay half for dinner? No. Oh, I don't think I would do that either, but I don't think that doesn't make me a feminist. I think that makes me just like, I feel like I know what I'm worth. And I had to pay for the makeup to get ready. That's my contribution.
Looking hot.
Yeah, I looked hot. Like, I looked good. My outfit was good.
Yeah.
You get to enjoy, it's dinner and a show, basically.
This is one of those feminists who expect traditional treatment when it's convenient for her. They want equality when it benefits them, but when it comes to dates, they still expect men to cover the bill, citing reasons that make no sense. Take the logic behind makeup, for example. Some claim that because they spent time and money to look presentable with makeup, the man should pay. But why should a man be responsible for covering the bill just because she chose to wear makeup? That's a personal choice, not an obligation he placed on her.
Western feminism is a scam. I came across this video yesterday and a lot of things really rang true for me. My mother was, I would say, a victim of this scam, and so therefore, so was my family. She was taught by the company that she was working at the time. She was pushed into choosing between her family and her career. And at some point, I think you have to be brainwashed as a mother to think that your career and competing with men is so much more important than raising your family. A job will come and go, they don't care about you, but your family, there's nothing more important than family. And any culture that shames women into believing that what they're doing, raising their children and their family, is not the most important thing we can do for our future, that if that's what they're telling us, then wherever that message is coming from, it's a scam.
It's true, and it's really sad to see. Feminism today often supports everything else except stay-at-home mothers who choose to dedicate their time to raising their children. These women are sometimes looked down upon and criticized simply because they don't fit the narrative of modern feminist ideals. The irony is that while feminism claims to champion freedom of choice and empowerment, it seems to withhold that support when it comes to women who decide to embrace traditional roles. Stay-at-home mums are often seen as betraying the cause just because they don't hate men or blindly follow the latest feminist trends. The reality is, these women are making a powerful choice by focusing on their families, which is just as valid and deserving of respect as any career path.
How is it sexism when we have no barriers today? So we can pick what we want to pick.
Who doesn't have barriers? Women don't have barriers?
Women, yeah. What's
we have
stopping
no
you? You
barriers.
can do whatever you want.
I can or you can?
What's stopping you?
Feminism has definitely ruined all of that. Where it comes to men being men, men step up. I don't know if you guys saw that article that there was some girl that was drowning and the guy saved her life, and then he was like, she was going to sue him for touching her. Oh, he touched me without my consent. You were under the water, you were dying. Like, he literally saved your life. And she's like, well, for a brief moment, I was grateful that I was alive. This is why men don't step up, because when they do the right thing, they get crucified. If you want better men, be better women, because it starts with you. How you act, how you carry yourself, how you talk to them. Treat a man like a king, he will treat you like a queen.
Modern feminism is women wanting the rights of men with the privileges of women while maintaining the accountability of children. I held a door open for a lady the other day, and she told me that she didn't need me to do that. So I closed the door on her, and she still got mad. It's not worth it anymore. Feminism is absolutely not about women anymore. I don't know what it is. There's reason why nobody is getting married. There is a reason why the US has a low birth rate. Radical feminism has impacted society in a negative way. First off, the old feminism focused on important issues like equal rights, fair treatment in the workplace, and the right to vote. But this new wave of feminism has taken a sharp turn. Instead of striving for equality, it's spreading a message of division and resentment toward men. Many of these so-called feminists are actually misandrists, hiding behind the label of feminism to justify their anger and bitterness. They claim to want equality, but in reality, they're pushing for dominance, fueling a toxic us versus them mentality that's damaging the foundation of healthy relationships between men and women. After all, what man would feel good about stepping up when basically everything is stacked against him? By the way, here's what the woman had to say when that man saved her from drowning.
Grabbed me under the water while I was knocked unconscious. I wasn't able to consent.
You need help.
When I was in high school about to go to college, I had a friend and all she wanted to do was just get married and have kids. And she wanted to have a lot of kids So she did that right out of high school, and I remember kind of judging her, like, ew, why would you do that? You have no ambition. So then I kind of, like, really stopped talking to her because I thought, oh my God, what is that? Like, why would you just want to do that and, like, live with a man who makes the money and do that? Like, be independent, have some ambition and stuff like that. I was going to college, getting my degree that I'm not using at all, in debt. Not anymore, but was in debt. She ain't got no debt, and she got, like, 4 kids, and she's happy. I see her on Instagram, so... yeah, be independent, do this, like, don't depend on no man, don't need no man. And now that I'm married, I'm like, I needed him. Where have you been, mister?
I wish I never listened to modern feminism. Good, because most women my age demographic realize it when it's too late to reproduce children. She'll learn her inner feminine is with his masculine. This is crazy, because I thought it was about women supporting women, and not women hating on other women's choices. And what people fail to understand is that feminism is a cancer in society that's destroying everything. Just think about how many women have been brainwashed by this feminist mentality, and men don't mind a woman being independent. The issue starts when she makes it her whole personality, and at that point it becomes a turn-off. They just keep forgetting that the family structure is the backbone of society.
When I say I don't support modern-day feminism, this is what I mean. When the feminist movement first began, it was all about earning women the right to vote and fighting for equality for women. But today's feminist movement looks nothing like that. Modern-day feminism is no longer about women's empowerment. In today's society, it's just another term to describe the liberal agenda. This movement claims to be fighting for equality, but in reality, it's actually hurting women. It's hurting women by telling them that if they want to be successful, they can't also be a mother. I don't support modern-day feminism because I refuse to support a movement that is actively hurting women.
Quit saying you don't need a man. Because you do.
Y'all, this queen is 100% correct. I don't know what's up with this super proud generation. Oh, I don't need a man, I don't need nobody. But be doing all by themselves and crying behind closed doors. Not all women, but some. But it's no need to put up a facade. Go heal so you can love and receive love the way that you deserve. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. That's not no pick-me talk. That's grown woman healed and mature talk. Because see me, I need a man, I need some meat, I need some love, because your girl, she being heat, all right? Snap, snap, snap. Okay, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with letting a man love you and protect you? Because I want to be protected. I'm going to call my boo daddy. Somebody looking at me, come get me. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Heal up so that pride can be gone, because pride goes before a fall. A lot of women wonder why they fall on their face all the time. It's okay to have a helpmate. Let somebody love you and help you so you don't have to do it by yourself. But if this don't apply to you, let it fly. But if it do, go heal, baby.
That right there is what separates good women from women who are hurt and bitter. The women who loudly claim they don't need a man actually desire one more than you might think. They just feel the need to convince themselves otherwise. It's a defense mechanism to protect their egos from rejection, disappointment, or past heartbreaks. They tell themselves they're fine on their own because admitting they want a strong, supportive partner might make them feel vulnerable or weak. Sometimes, these women tell themselves that because they want to prove they can do it on their own, all while suffering and crying behind closed doors.
I don't need a man. I don't need anybody. You do. You do need somebody. We all need somebody. And I can understand where that's coming from, in that you don't want to be hurt. I can understand that you're trying to protect yourself. I understand all of that because I've been there. At the end of the day, when we try to operate from a place of protection, when we try to operate from a place of survival, we're only going to attract more problems, more unhealthy partners.
It's crazy how women say they don't need men, but are using apps created by men to say, I don't need a man in my life. They really need to look around and think again before spewing that ridiculous statement. The mentality of not needing a man is what's hurting, and will be hurting these women in the long run. They say that because they want to prove themselves. They do all that work just to realize men were never paying attention to them in the first place.
I wasted 10 years on feminism and woke culture. And
when did you realize that it was a lie?
probably like a year ago. Only.
A year ago.
That's the problem.
What made you like realize?
And it's interesting. Like I started really listening to Andrew Tate's like long form content.
Yeah. Nice.
And understanding truly what he meant.
Yeah.
And it really changed everything for me.
Okay.
How I viewed men and women and relationships.
So you think the biggest lie of feminism was a lie? I guess.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately.
What's the biggest lie that feminism sells women, in your opinion?
That women don't need a man.
Much respect to this woman for having the integrity and humility to admit she was wrong. When my ex-wife started making money, after a year working, she said one day she don't need me anymore. But for 15 years, she didn't have a job. Anyways, exactly. That's the lie they've been sold. Many women were led to believe that achieving career success and financial independence would make them more desirable or somehow put them above men. They felt empowered by their accomplishments, thinking that men would be attracted to their status and achievements. But now they're running around wondering where all the good men have gone, not realizing that they already discarded those men long ago. It's a wake-up call for many of them, revealing that men generally don't care about a woman's money or career success. These women have climbed the corporate ladder only to find themselves alone at the top, realizing too late that their success doesn't substitute for the genuine human connection they neglected.
Restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. And today I'm going to be talking about how high-value women don't buy into the modern-day feminism. The modern-day feminism I'm talking about is the one that shoves down your throat that men are the cause and the root of all evil, that you should always be an independent woman and be happy alone. The modern-day feminism that doesn't encourage family. Because let's be honest, modern-day feminism has been the destruction of our womanhood. We ourselves have created the 50-50 rule. And if you notice, a lot of us women don't know how to receive love, gifts, and appreciation because we've been so conditioned to remain in our masculine energy that we don't know how to receive these things with grace. We did that to ourselves. And the reason why high-value women go against modern-day feminism is because it literally goes against everything we believe in. High-value women love channeling their divine feminine. They love being treated like a woman. And lastly, they love being women. And what modern-day feminism does is almost make you hate all your female traits. And that's my take on modern-day feminism.
So I don't know where all this divine stuff she's talking about comes from, but I do agree with her to some level. Modern-day feminism mostly seems to be about separating the family dynamic. It's moved away from advocating for equality and more towards encouraging individualism at the expense of traditional relationships. Instead of empowering women to build strong partnerships, it promotes a "you don't need a man" mentality, which can undermine the value of family and mutual support. The push for women to be completely independent has created a divide between men and women, making it harder to maintain lasting relationships.
I'm not a feminist. I don't need to be a feminist. There's nothing that they're fighting for that I agree with anymore.
Yeah.
It seems overprivileged. It seems bratty.
Y'all, do you guys not understand there's a difference between being confident and being delusional? When you're confident, it makes you more attractive. When you're delusional, it makes you seem insane and it makes you less attractive. Every video I see of 3s and 4s saying they're 9s and 10s is literally insane. And it's funny because it's like, if you were a 10, your life would be different. Who are you comparing yourself to? When I give myself like a 6.5, that's because I'm smart enough to compare myself to every woman on the planet, including literal supermodels. I was watching a dating show this morning. This girl's like, I'm perfect. There should be a line of 9 million men around my house. Sweetie, if that was true, there would be, because there literally are women on the planet who could have literally probably any man that are solid 10s. There isn't a line because you aren't that. And you're insane. And you need to be humbled. And women aren't helping. They're making it worse.
Part of the problem is because these women's ego have been boosted. These filters on these apps gives them the illusion that they're so beautiful, when in reality, it's not actually true. And then what they do is carry that illusion into the real world, telling everybody that they're 9s and 10s. Let's also not forget the makeup, fake eyelashes and the brushes that's used to draw on their faces every morning. I guess in a way they're trying to love themselves, or is it just coping, turning a blind eye to the truth?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, feminism, women ruin everything. Feminism has ruined everything for women too. They think that they're fighting for women, but it's actually hurting women the most. And that's the sad thing. And too many women are just hearing, become an OnlyFans girl, make your bread, be a boss babe. And it just is it's honestly a trap. It's leading them down to a life worth of misery. And before they know it, they will be too old to have kids and no man will want them because the older they get, the more experiences they have, their value goes down. And that's why I try to speak up about it, because I feel like not enough young women are hearing this side of things. And I actually got into a Twitter fight recently with Iggy Azalea because her failed rapping career led her to do OnlyFans. And
oh shit.
She actually asked my husband for a dick pic too on Twitter. It was a very strange, sad situation.
What?
Yeah,
the mighty have fallen.
She's wild, but she tells young girls to start OnlyFans and she's promoting it. And it's just like, I think it's very different if a girl used to do OnlyFans and kind of speaks down upon it and says this is not right for women. But it's a difference when you see these women, and like you guys have said, women by nature are followers. So they will follow all these girls that they idolize. And so many young women think it's okay to do OnlyFans, not knowing the consequences that are inevitable. Like not being able to find a high value husband. So that's why I like to speak out against it.
Twitter sounds lit. Feminism feeds population control if they can get all women to hate men. That means less babies. Be a boss babe and sell yourself and your body to men. Feminism, or should I say female masculinism, has destroyed the US. Well done, ladies. No one wants you. Passport bros.
The feminist movement that I grew up in basically says you do not need a man. You can do anything that you want to in life without a man. Never let a man make you give up your career. And I'm somebody who believed this fully until 32, until I basically had kids. And it's taken me about 5 years to detox from this narrative. But here's two big issues that I see. One, fundamentally, how does this set you up for a healthy marriage? If every woman is led to believe that they don't need a man, that they can do everything themselves, and that a man is essentially just going to bring you down or damage you or make you give up your dreams in some way, how does that lead to a healthy marriage? The other major issue is that they only show one side of this narrative. And I love to use the analogy of working out. So they'll commonly tell you that in marriage, if you have to change yourself in any way for a man, they say it as a negative. And they'll just tell you that. They never talk about all the gains that you get. So let's talk about working out. So if somebody just told you, what's working out like? Well, it's really difficult. You're not going to like it. Sometimes you're in pain. You sweat a lot. You'll be sore for days. You'll be really out of breath. Sometimes you think you won't even survive. If you just tell that aspect, somebody will be like, that's crazy. But that's not the truth about working out. That's a part of it. Then there's major benefits like longevity, living a vibrant life, looking great, feeling great, mental clarity, better mood, relieves depression, which, by the way, a lot of the things I just named are also tied to a healthy marriage, but they don't mention that part.
Same. Went to college, found an amazing husband I loved. But once we had kids, I actually needed him, and my feminist mindset changed. Unfortunately, most women get to this realization too late in life. Enlighten your daughters early. Of course, women need men, and men need women. It's a toxic mentality to think otherwise. It's a partnership together. I was very independent, self-sufficient for 32 years, but it is so nice to have a man now. Half the burden is gone. Not everyone has this experience.
I wrote down the people that I slept with that I thought I was going to have a relationship with, even prior to being in the sex industry, and it was about 100. You guys are like, whoa.
You said 100.
Yeah, including the time I was working. So in other words, during the relationships when I was with the relationships with the pimp, sometimes I would meet nice guys on the side, and he was already cheating on me, I thought, with other girls because I had wife-in-laws. So I felt justified when I met a nice guy that just wanted to hang out with me and just cuddle me and have sex with me. I slept with him. It's just trauma.
So sorry.
Well, she found her man.
Yeah.
I did.
And
I went.
I win.
Well, if she wins, that means the guy loses. They do say, if a key can open lots of locks, then it's a master key. But if a lock can be opened by lots of keys, then it's a shitty lock. I guess this is what happiness looks like after roaming the streets.
Ex was a great guy. Like, even after we broke up, still sending me flowers to my apartment. We didn't break up because of anything that he did to me, anything that I found out or anything that I did to him. We literally broke up because just of small things that led me to understand that this was not my husband. And so I needed to make room for my husband by exiting that relationship. I'm telling you, the way that he treated me within this relationship was so good. He's raised my standard. And you guys know that my standards are already high to begin with. He's made it harder for the next.
All right, y'all. So I just broke up with my ex of 5 years, and I literally have no complaints about her. Like, she was perfect, right? And it doesn't get any better than that. She used to pay for all the meals. She paid for the bills, all that, until I got my stuff together. But it was just something about her. I just couldn't comprehend. Like, I can't really explain it to y'all, but she was so perfect. But you know how somebody can be good to you, but they're just not that good person to you? You know, like, they're that perfect person, but it's just, to me, it's more than just being a perfect person. Like, but they just wasn't that perfect person for me.
Now, this is crazy. This man created a satire story mirroring that woman's exact experience of how she broke up with a good guy because in her mind, he wasn't good enough. What's really not surprising, though, is the stark difference in reactions they both got from women under that post. Women are praising her for leaving the good guy, claiming she deserved better, while they're hating on the man for exposing the same situation from a different angle. You can give her the world, and it still won't ever be enough.
I consider myself to be a boss chick. I'm 26.
Okay.
Currently single. So, I mean, you were explaining to women that they are wasting their years being a boss chick. Why can't I build my life the way I want it without potentially just being a side chick?
What do you want?
A husband eventually.
Eventually when?
Definitely before I hit 30.
So in 3 years, 8 months or so, you want to have a husband.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How many children do you want to have?
I want 2 children.
Right. And after you're pregnant and married with your first child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills?
I do not. I would prefer to be
cool.
taking care of my kids.
Okay, so by your calculations, what the fuck do you need to be a boss for if you're going to be a stay-at-home wife? After marriage, you don't want to hit a lick. You want to stay at home and raise your kids. That means he has to pay the bills. Then what are you the boss for? What is it doing for the bottom line for the family?
Good men do finish last. And I'm going to tell you why. When a woman finally meets a good man after being neglected, taken for granted, torn down, you name it, all these bad men, she finally meets a good man. She doesn't understand what she's done to deserve this kind of love. She doesn't know how to receive that love. And when a woman is in that state of mind, she is constantly looking for red flags. And when she finds one, even a small red flag, she will cling to it and mentally check out of the relationship, and the man doesn't even know it. And this is where a good man does what good men do, and they will continue to fight and give grace and time, thinking that she will come around because he has no idea that she has already mentally checked out of that relationship. And trust me when I say that no good man would willingly choose to stay and fight for a relationship where he is not wanted. Therefore, good men do finish last because they are constantly punished for all of the bad men in a woman's past.
Some men are struggling because just being a good guy is part of their nature. And for some women, they find that to be a turn-off. This is one of the reasons why these men have checked out of dating completely. Some of them have fought and gave it their all in their relationships. And it was still the same result in the end. The only reward these good men get for their good hearts is a heartbreak. In most cases, these men are the only ones fighting to keep the relationship going while she's trying to walk away. My belief is that men should prioritize themselves as well. You just can't please everybody. If they're willing to walk away easily, then it wasn't meant to be. Know your worth.
Have you noticed that when women are complaining about men, they're usually complaining about the things that men have done to them? But when men are complaining about women, they're usually complaining about the things that women haven't done for them. The difference is male entitlement is much more dangerous than female entitlement. Women lose their lives every day for saying no, but go off about how misandry is just perpetrating the cycle of oppression. Y'all are so silly.
I understand the woman bring life. Y'all don't.
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man.
You still need a man.
You need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm. Where does it come from?
That's for right now. Give it to
From a man. If a physical man didn't go to that hospital, it would not be there.
You guys don't carry kids for 9 months. We do.
I carried them my whole life. What the hell? Kids is here the whole life.
Y'all can't have a baby without sperm.
Women like you always try to eliminate men, and that's where the issue is. You just said you don't need a man.
You don't. We want you. There's a difference. Need and want is a different thing. I don't need a man.
You don't want him.
You want the potion.
You want the potion that lives inside of his testicle.
Are you stupid?
So let me get this straight. So many modern day women think that they're the prize because basically they're a functioning adult and they pay their bills. Like, congratulations for paying your electric bill. I guess that means you deserve princess treatment. Meanwhile, these women are ill-mannered, don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to take constructive criticism, they only know how to focus on negative behaviors instead of positive behaviors, they have unhealed trauma that they constantly project onto other people, they're selfish and entitled and expect everyone to cater to them while they give nothing in return. They have poor time management, they don't have any priorities in place, they don't know how to focus, they don't know what they really want in life, which is why they dabble in everything and sleep around. They prefer negative attention rather than no attention at all. Their idea of positive friendships is how many followers they have, and their reputation online is more important than who they are in real life. Dismissive to anybody's feelings or opinions if it doesn't validate them. They bully people while simultaneously preaching women empowerment. But yet, they have so much to bring to the table because they're a functioning adult and they pay their bills. Make that make sense. Okay, bye.
At this point, I feel sorry for the cats, because that's what most of these toxic modern women will end up with. They talk about being strong and independent, like it's some kind of new trend, when in reality, being a functioning adult who pays their own bills is just a basic part of life that people have been doing throughout history. It's almost as if they've convinced themselves that achieving normal, everyday responsibilities is something groundbreaking. Meanwhile, they're rejecting real relationships and meaningful connections, pushing away good men in the process, all while boasting about their independence. The truth is, being self-sufficient doesn't make someone special. It just means they're doing what's necessary to survive.
These girls are lying. They are lying. They are not getting dressed up, going to the club, full face of makeup, hair extensions, eyelashes for themselves. Okay? Remove the Matrix microchip and answer the question from your honest gut, ladies. Come on. Come on, you're doing it for attention. You're doing it for attention from men. You're doing it because you naturally compete with other women. That's why you're doing it.
My first year of college, I thought that I wanted to have the whole college experience of the whole hookup culture and dating. And I thought that that was going to bring me satisfaction. I thought that that was going to bring me fulfillment. I thought that I was going to enjoy that, but I actually truly hated it. I absolutely did not like that season because one of the things is I always was left when I was dating men at that season of my life feeling confused and feeling used. I always felt used and confused. That's the best way I can describe my single era and like the type of men that I was dating. And that is when I knew that these men that I was dating before, these were men that were coming to me with any good intentions. These were not men from the Lord. They really weren't.
I feel like it's perfectly fine to feel like you want to be a part of hookup culture or like sleep around when you're younger to try to figure out what you want. I think that's perfectly fine. And then later on want to have something serious. I don't think sleeping around is a bad thing. I really don't think so. Not for men or women.
But at some point, the epiphany phase needs to end
and
reality needs to set in.
If you want to have a serious relationship, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
Yeah.
God bless you. Love you. You have no idea how many girls, when I was 24, just getting started in the South Beach party scene in my early 20s, are still out there single, living it up.
Well, they can do that if they want,
No,
right?
they cannot.
Can't do that?
Yeah, they can
What
do
if that's
whatever
what
they
makes them
want.
happy?
But when they cry themselves to sleep, like, why can't I find a good man? It's like, because you passed him 10 years ago. Because
you act like a
But you still wanted to hook it up and do the hookup culture
it's because
thing.
they're looking for the plastic because they are plastic. That's why. Because the people in Miami are that way. It's not like you look for a
How long
serious
have you lived
relationship
in Miami now? You've got a whole synopsis of the city?
1.5 years.
Oh, okay.
But I've lived all over the planet. I've lived
These
in LA,
rules
I lived
apply
here,
nationally
I lived in
and
Sweden, I lived in New
internationally.
Zealand. I've been all over the place. I probably lived in more places than you guys have.
This is another lie that's been told to women. What exactly are they searching for by smashing multiple dudes? If you don't value yourself in your prime, why should a man value you when you're older? If that's the case, he can just date a younger woman. Again, this is an excuse they use because they just simply want to have multiple partners, but they mask it up with self-discovery to try and make it seem less shameful, even though deep down they know what they're doing is wrong. If everybody has had a turn, what value does it hold anyway? At that point, it's just damaged goods.
Hate the most about dating.
Men don't put in any effort.
Men make the first move. Men will ask you on the first date. They'll plan it. Sometimes they'll pick you up. Often they'll pay for it. They'll sometimes buy you flowers or a gift in addition to that. Men initiate texts, phone calls, any type of communication. They move the relationship forward. Throughout the relationship, they do their best to meet all of your expectations, even though their expectation list is a lot smaller than ours. Depending on the man, you often get to move in with him, rather than it being the other way around. You benefit off all of his hard work that he has done in years and years.
Honestly, I think that girls as well, like, should we commit at this young of an age? Like, do we have the resources or the time to, like, commit to someone? Like, maybe not. Like, maybe we just want, like, the company for a little bit. I think that it's just, like, a deeper question overall. If you're older and you don't want to commit, then you have, like, some serious issues. But if you're young and you're just, like, trying to figure yourself out, then, like, maybe it's fine to not commit.
Like, the next 5-10 years, where do you see relationships going? Do you see people getting married more, staying single more, being with multiple women or multiple men? What do you see the future in dating and relationships in the near 5, 10, 50, 20 years?
With the internet and with, like, what we have now, like, everyone is more themselves. And if you're a person that doesn't commit, then you're not going to commit. And if you're a person that does commit, then you're going to commit. And, like, you'll find what you, like, want. You know, you reap what you sow.
If a woman doesn't commit to a man during her best years, she often finds herself struggling to attract a quality partner when she's older. During those younger years, she might have plenty of options and opportunities. However, if she spends that time focusing solely on herself, chasing after fleeting excitement, or waiting for someone better to come along, she might miss out on a good man. As time goes on and she enters her later years, those opportunities start to dwindle. The reality is that as women age, they often become less visible to men who are looking for long-term partners.
But a lot of the girls I'm seeing that are demanding things from our young men, they don't have nothing themselves. You're in your single room in your mum and dad's house with the one Gucci bag that you saved up, and now you're expecting men to pay for everything for you. I'm saying if you're a girl in your 20s to early 30s and you've met a man similar age and you both don't have that much, why are you expecting a man to have miles more?